Assalamu alaikum and a very good morning to all my lovely students. I hope you all are fine at your home and doing well at your home. I hope you all are started the preparation for PT2 exam. I hope all of you got the message which is given by our principal ma'am related PT2 exam. So students, if your CW is incomplete, then start to complete it. If any chapter is incomplete in your grammar get textbook, so start to complete it. So you will not get any difficulty during exam. Now students, once again we start our grammar get textbook for class 7. Today we'll see chapter number 8, voice. Now before I start this chapter, I would like to say students that in the previous videos we have completed chapter number 4, tenses. Before learn voice, you must know the tenses properly. So students, below in the description box I given the link of this chapter tenses which we have already completed previous. I have joined this link in the description box because go through it so you can easily understand tenses first. So it's very easy for you to understand voice. Now students, will move to this chapter. Chapter number 8, voice. Now students, once again I request you to go through the chapter tense, try to understand it, try to understand each and every tense. So it's very easy for you to learn voice. It will really help you to understand this chapter voice. Now first of all, open your textbook page number 75. So we'll go to this chapter. Now look at inside your textbook. Adam was on a hiking trip and fell asleep at the edge of a forest. When he woke up, he noticed that most of his things were gone. Look at the pictures of the animals and the things they have taken. Then match the items in the table. Now here Adam, who lost many of his things, and when he observed, he saw that all the animals took his things. Here elephant, blackbird, deer, monkey and rabbit. So these animals and birds took his things. Now we have to match column A with column B. Now look at here in column A, the French fries were taken, Adam's glasses were, the rabbit took, the banana was eaten, the monkey took. Now look at in column B, the carrot by the deer, by the blackbird, taken by the elephant, the coconut. Now here you have to match column A with column B. Now this sentence is in the passive and active voice. Now students, I hope you remember this voice because you have already learned in 6th standard 2. Now we'll start to match it. The French fries were taken. Here taken word is already given, so taken the carrot is not correct. Taken by the deer, taken by the blackbird, taken by the elephant. Here already taken word is given to you. Taken the coconut. So here we'll match this taken by the blackbird. The French fries were taken by the blackbird. Adam's glasses were taken by the elephant. The rabbit took the carrot. The banana was eaten by the deer. The monkey took the coconut. You can see in the picture, so you can easily identify this answer. Now students, do these match the following in your grammar gate textbook with pencil. Now we'll see what is voice. Yes, students, look at here. What is voice? Voice is a characteristic of verbs which indicates the relation of the verb's action to its subject. Now we know very well that in a voice we have to identify the action of the subject. So here this voice which indicates the relation of the verb's action, means action, to its subject. We know that in a voice it's very easy when you understand the subject, verb and object. If you identify easily, you can easily do the voice. You can easily turn the voice passive to active or active to passive. So while learning these voice, we have to keep in our mind that what we have to learn, we have to identify we have to identify the sentence first. We must know that what is subject, what is verb and what is object in this sentence. After, we have to turn the passive into active and active into passive. We must know that the sentence is in a passive voice or the sentence is in the active voice. So while learning voice, we have to learn these all objectives. Now, as we know that the voice of a verb may be either active or passive. The voice of a verb maybe is active or maybe it's a passive. As we know that voice are two types: active voice and passive voice. Now, what is active and what is passive? In active voice, in active sentence, the subject does the action. And in passive voice, in passive sentence, the action is done to the subject. So I hope it's clear to you that in active voice, the subject does the action. The subject does the action. This is about active voice. So remember students, in active voice, the subject does the action, while in passive voice, the action is done to the subject. Action is done to the subject. So this is the difference, that in active voice, in active sentence, the subject does the action, while in passive sentence or passive voice, the action is done to the subject. Now look at here one example. Active and passive voice. Active voice, what subject does, the focus is on the action, or you can say that the action is done to the subject. Means here we have to focus on action which is done to the subject. Now look at the sentence of active voice. Ram killed Ravan. Now Ram is a subject. Killed is the action of Ram, means verb. And Ravan here object. Yes, don't say that it's a subject because it's a noun. No, here action, killed Ravan. So it's the object. Now in passive voice, So here in active sentence, we have seen that subject does the action, killed Ravan. Now in passive voice, the action is done to the subject. Ravan was killed by Ram. Now this Ravan object will turn into subject. So the action is done to the subject. Now Ravan is a subject. So this was killed action is done to subject Ravan. And by Ram is now an object. So I hope students this example is clear to you. Now we'll see the example which is given in your textbook at page number 75. So all of you look at that example. So look at here, the dog chased the cat. The cat was chased by the dog. Now here the dog is a subject. Chased is a verb, is the action of the dog, is the action of subject, the dog. And the cat is a object. So in this first sentence, the dog chased the cat, means here the sentence is about the dog, subject. And the sentence is saying that what did the dog chase, means what it did, what the dog did. The dog chased the cat. What the dog did? The dog chased the cat. Now look at this second sentence. The cat was chased by the dog. So in second sentence, we can say that it's say about the cat. And it's saying that what happened to it, means what happened to the cat. That the cat was chased by the dog. Here in second sentence, we can say that the action is done to the subject, means the cat. Here the cat is a subject. Was chased is a verb. And by the dog is a object. So in a first sentence, we can say that the sentence is about the dog. The second sentence is about the cat, that what happened to the cat. And in first sentence, what did the dog. So this is known as active sentence, and the second one is known as passive sentence. Now look at what the difference here. In active sentence, the subject, verb and object. The object of active sentence is turned in the subject in the passive sentence. The object is the subject in the passive sentence, and the subject of active is turned into object into passive sentence. Object becomes subject in passive and subject become object in passive. Now, what's about this verb? In active sentence, chased is written. Chased is a past form of verb. Now, the verb is in the past form. So, by turning into passive, your tense will not change. You have to write into past form only. Now, when you turn active into passive, that time your tense will not change. So here, by turning into passive also, you have to write in the past tense only. Now, chased is showing you simple past tense. So, by turning into passive, also you have to write in simple past. But remember that because of simple past, here the cat is a singular. So that's why we have to write singular verb first, was. Now chased with the was, you have to write past participle form of the verb. Here only simple past verb is given to you. But here you have to write past participle of the word. Third number form of the verb. Here second form is given to you. So you have to write third number form of the verb, means past participle form. If here written cats, so here were will come. Cats were chased. I hope students you are getting it. This verb you have to write by turning into passive voice, always in past participle form. And according to tense you have to change here. If it's in a simple present, you have to write is are. If it's in a past, simple past, was were. So according to these you have to change. Now how to change we'll see in a next table. Yes, now look at here. The passive form of a verb is be, means am, is, are, was, were, etc. Is, was, has been, and so on. Plus past participle form. And for these you have to study the table. So here you have to write is, has, was, had, has been, etc. Had been. And with this you have to write past participle form of this verb. Now look at in the table which is given at page number 76 in your textbook. So all of you first of all turn your page and look at page number 76. Now look at here written tense or model plus base. Model means will, can, shall, must, etc. And tense is given to you. Now first is simple tense. Here active voice, here passive voice. Now look at simple present. We know that in simple present the verb will come, main verb will come, or with the verb s or es will come according to subject. If your subject is he, she, it, so the verb will s or es, with the verb will come s or es. Or your subject is like I, you, we, they, so the main verb will come, right? So in a simple present the main verb will come or s or es will come with the verb. Now while turning into passive voice, you have to remember that it's a simple present. So according to your subject you have to write is or are, and you have to write past participle form of that write. Write, wrote, and written. So wrote is a simple past form, means past form, and written is a past participle form. Now present continuous tense. Now we have already learned while learning tense that present continuous tense is, what's the format of present continuous tense? Am, is, are plus ing. So when you see that your active voice is I am writing, he is writing, she is writing, means you understand that this sentence is in a present continuous form. So here ing is given. So what we have learned, we have to write past participle form of that verb. So definitely here return will come. Write, return, writing, it's ing, but here will come return. Now your tense will not change by turning into passive. So before you have to write being. So here ing is there, yes. So here students you have to write being written, and according to subject you have to write am, is, are, or almost am will not come because your object will turn into subject in passive. So is, are, being, written will come. Now look at present perfect. Present perfect has, have, written. Now here already your verb is coming in past participle form. But then also here you have to write been in passive voice. Has, have, been, written. I hope students it's clear, and maybe you forgot because you have learned before in 6th standard. So after my explanation, you might be remember and you might be easily understand. Now look at simple past. The simple past, I wrote a letter, means I wrote. So here in simple past you have to write was, were, and wrote, written. In past continuous, was, were plus writing, ing. In present continuous, am, is, are plus ing, the way in past continuous, was, were plus ing. So here the same like present continuous. Here we are writing is, are. So in place of is, are, you have to write was, were. Being, written. Ing will come with be, being plus written. Past perfect. What's the format of past perfect? Had written. Had plus past participle form. So here also had been past participle means written. In present perfect we have seen has, have written. So your tense is same only in passive. Has, have been written. Here also same tense, had been written. Now if the modal words, if there, so you have to write will, can, may, must, and with right, be written. Will, can, may, must, same. If in your sentence, I will write a letter. So, a letter will be written by me. So here be will come by turning into passive voice. So students, I hope it's clear to you. Now today we'll learn this much only. You just focus on tenses which I given below the description box, the links which I given below the description box. So first of all of you looked at all the videos which I have linked below, and after try to understand this voice, try to understand the tense. In the next video, we'll see subject, verb, object in active and passive voice, and how the subject turn into object, how the object turn into subject. And when you write subject of active into passive, so what will come there? In place of I, in place of he, in place of she, etc. We'll learn this all in a next video. Thank you all and have a wonderful day.